Good morning, dear students. Today we will going to teach you that few phase relationship. Okay, these phase relationship or functional relationship will help us to solve any numerical from these chapters. And I can ensure you that if any question does come from these chapters, that must be numerical. Okay, so we need to know how to solve these numericals. There is n number of formulas from these chapters, but we have selected few important one and we will try to explain these. That will be helpful. Let's start. Say you can see, if there is anything with combination of porosity and void ratio, then the relationship come as n equal to E divided by 1 plus E. And what is E? E is the void ratio. Okay, you know E is the void ratio. What is called void ratio? You can see here what is called void ratio. Void ratio is the ratio between volume of voids and volume of solids. That means that in the solids part, what you can see in this solids part, how much void exists. In this solid part, how much void is exist. You know this is a three-phase relationship of the soil, and we are just bothered within the soil solids how much void exists. That is void ratio. Now what is the porosity? Porosity means in entire volume, if you consider the entire volume of the soil mass as V or rather Vt. Okay, so if you consider V or Vt, that means voids of the total soil mass, not within the solids only. Okay, that is called porosity. And if you are supposed to asking to find out N, that is porosity, how you will find it out? E divided by 1 plus E. And if someone asks you to find out E instead of N, then what will be the formula? You can see N divided by 1 minus N. Okay. Next, you understood this. Okay. Next, relationship between E, G, W, S. Now let me explain what is E, what is G, what is W and what is S. You know that E is the void ratio, and I have already explained you that E is the volume of voids divided by volume of solids. Okay. Now G, what is G? G is the specific gravity of the soil. What is W? W is the water content. That means whenever you receive a soil mass from the nature, most of the circumstances it may be partially saturated. There is a three kind of soil you will be able to experience in the nature. One is a completely dry soil, one is the partially saturated soil, another is the completely saturated soil. Okay, say for example, if this is your soil three phase. Okay, you know at the bottom part it occupied by the soil solids. Okay, soil solids. Okay, this part occupied by the water and this part occupied by the air. You can see same thing here. But now my question is that if these two parts where air exists and water exists, these are the voids where, say if it is your soil grains, this part is called as a void part. Which part is called void parts? You can see this part is called voids. Okay, these voids can be occupied this much, this part is this part. Okay, this part may be occupied either by the air or either by the water. Okay, now if at any circumstances your soil is a completely saturated soil, what will happen in that case? In that case there will be no water, no air. Sorry, completely saturated soil, there will be no air. So entire things will be filled by the water only, entire thing. This much, this void part, this is a void part, this part will be occupied by the water. If it is a completely dry soil, then what will happen? There will be no existence of water. This void part will be completely occupied by the air. If it is a completely dry soil, how you will experience in the completely dry soil? Say for example, if you take a significant amount of soil from the college ground, okay, and then you put the sample into the oven, and after few times if you take out these samples and you see that the weight is reduced. Why the weight reduced? Due to the evaporation of the water which was in between the pore. I have shown you. Okay. So you understood water content. And next is a degree of saturation. S is known as a degree of saturation. What is called degree of saturation? Degree of saturation is the ratio between volume of water divided by volume of voids. That means how much percentage of water presents in this zone. You know, this is a void part of the soil, and how much water in terms of volume, how much water present in this volume. That is called degree of saturation. That means volume of water presents in the volume of voids. And now say the relation is equal to Wg by S. Okay. You know, from any equation, from a single equation, you can able to find out one unknown. So in your question paper, what will be given? There is a 4 parameters E, W, G, S. Among these 4 parameters, 3 parameters will be given, and one you need to find out. Okay, one parameter you need to find out, and all 3 will be given, and you just need to find out one. It is easy. Okay, I just move to the next one. This is the most important. Okay, this is a relationship between gamma D, capital G, E, S, gamma W. What is the gamma D? Gamma D means dry unitoid of the soil. What is the first? I will explain you what is the bulk unitoid. Then I will move to the dry unitoid. Gamma equal to W by V, wet by volume. That is your bulk unitoid of the soil. And when you move to the dry unitoid of the soil, it will comes as a gamma divided by 1 plus W. What is gamma? Gamma is the unitoid of the soil. You know W is the water content, and now if you put this gamma and W in this equation, you will find out gamma D. What is gamma D? I told you gamma D is the dry unitoid of the soil. And if sometimes G and E is given, no W is given, G and E is provided, and you are asking to find out gamma D. So if you want to find out gamma D from this equation, that is I want to told you from this equation, then you cannot find gamma W here. Okay. And if there is no W given, if W, that is W is not given, okay. If W is not given, so you cannot use this formula. So what are the alternatives we had? Then we have to use this formula to find out gamma D. You can see G, gamma W, 1 plus E. What is gamma W? Gamma W is the unitoid of water. Okay. Now, most of the students make mistake in this area when they are providing the units of gamma W, putting the units of gamma W. Okay. Just keep in your mind, if your others unit in SI or MKS, then you have to consider gamma W equal to 9.81. And if you are performing the test by the CGS, okay, then you should consider gamma W equal to 1. Very important part. You should keep in your mind, otherwise entire problem will not be correct. Either you have to choose 9.81 for SI, then you have to think, or you have to recheck again the all other units, either in SI or CGS. If it is SI, then consider gamma W equal to 9.81. And if it is in CGS, then consider gamma W equal to 1. And next, now you are asking to find out gamma. You can say gamma W, G, E, S, gamma W. These are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gamma D, G, E, S, gamma W. These 5 parameters are relationship between among 5 parameters. Then the formula is gamma equal to G plus E into S into gamma W divided by 1 plus E. And you know you are already familiar with all the terms. Okay, all the terms. Now, one thing you should keep in your mind, if your soil is completely dry soil, so what will you put? S. What is S? S is a degree of saturation. What is called degree of saturation? This is called degree of saturation. Volume of water in between volume of voids. And if it is a completely dry soil, so there is a no existence of water. There will be no existence of water. That means there is VW equal to 0. So S equal to 0. So what will happen? This term will come into 0. If you put S equal to 0 here, what will happen? Numerically, this comes to 0. only G gamma W1 plus E. So you can see how G gamma W1 plus E comes from this equation, for the dry soil. If it is a completely dry soil, then we put, instead of gamma, we will write down gamma D, and S equal to, if you put S equal to 0, then entire thing gamma W S into E, it will comes to 0. Only remaining part G into gamma W, what you can see in the above line. Okay. This part, these are the relationship, very fundamental relationship. I think it is very much clear to all of you, and just keep in your mind, and hopefully you will able to resolve any numericals from these chapters, and I will provide you an assignment today for the practice of this kind of relationship. Okay, thank you very much.